What's up, listeners? Welcome back to Lost in Transit. This is another episode of 10 Questions. Today I'm here with my friend, Bryan Daugherty. He's a commercial photographer and a travel photographer. He lives here in Portland, Oregon. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How's it going? Excited to be here.
Sick.
Excited to answer some travel questions and any questions that you can think of.
I am stoked to have you here because, you know, it seems like since you moved to San Francisco, you've been traveling more.
Yeah. It's been real busy.
And that makes me excited because you know how much I like to fucking travel and
of course.
to talk about this nonsense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. Question 1, window or aisle seat?
I sometimes like the window seat if I'm trying to sleep. So if I'm trying to sleep or if it's a really long flight, I'll usually choose the window. If it's like a flight that's like 4 hours or less, I'll choose the aisle seat because I can relax and stretch my legs out a little bit more than if I'm in a window. But yeah.
So you're both?
Yeah. If I had to choose one, I would probably choose the aisle, but I choose both based on how the flight time. Honestly.
Fair enough. Usually with people, you're one or the other. I'm a window guy. Yeah. Always.
What's your reasoning though?
I usually sleep.
Sleep? Yeah.
I also don't get up during a flight unless it's completely dire.
Yeah. Also, travel hack: if you're sitting in a window seat, or I mean, not a window seat, an aisle seat, you can the armrest on the right. Some people think that it's locked, but you can actually there's a lever underneath that you can make it pull up. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. What is your least favorite place in the world?
I tend to be on the positive side of things, but if I had to pick, my least favorite place that I've been was probably China, to be honest.
Sick. I'm going there tomorrow. Yes.
I mean, you've been there before, though, right?
Yeah. And you had told me a little bit about it the other day, but it was a work experience and the whole.
I mean, I think it would have been different if I was able to make my own itinerary and go to the places that I wanted to go. But I was there for like a tourism thing, so it was all kind of a set schedule, and we went to
How long were you there?
It was a while, like 14 days.
Oh, okay. So that's about how long we're there.
Yeah.
That's
It was a decent amount of time for sure. But we did things like where we would like sit in like a silk museum for 6 hours.
Hell no.
Like I'm all for museums and going to museums and like experiencing that, but not reading about silk for 6 hours. So
no, absolutely not.
Everybody has a different experience, so
for sure. Okay, question 3: street food, is it delicious or is it gross?
I love street food and I love trying new things when it comes to food. I think that's honestly like one of my favorite things when it comes to traveling. My favorite food that we had, I was in Japan 2 weeks ago. My favorite food that we had while we were there the entire time was the Wagyu beef skewers. That was street food in Kyoto. So,
did you have takoyaki?
I don't think so.
I've had takoyaki on the street in
Japan,
in Osaka, maybe Kyoto. I get that mixed up sometimes because whatever. Because they're so close. But yeah, it's basically little deep fried octopus balls.
Oh, I did have that.
Okay.
I just didn't know what it's called.
Yeah. It's outstanding.
I actually had it from this lady. She had this little like bus, and she turned the back of it into like a cooking stove.
Oh, that's
and she
great.
made it right there. Yeah.
I saw that in the something like similar to that in Russia, where they would turn the hatch of a station wagon into an espresso bar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I was like, that's fucking rad.
Yeah.
And then you can park it anywhere and do anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, question 4. What is one thing you cannot travel without?
One thing?
One thing.
Oh, man. I mean, without the obvious thing, like my wallet and my phone, probably my Bose headphones, the noise-canceling headphones.
They're that important.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, on a flight, they're just so... Like, if I don't have them, I can't sleep at all. I don't sleep well on planes at all.
Okay.
And if I have those, I can actually sleep. So it makes a huge difference when I land in a different time zone. I'm able to just like
hit the ground running, normal.
You know? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 5. What's the most interesting thing you've ever tasted?
Honestly, probably that octopus thing. It was kind of weird to me.
Really?
I didn't really like it.
Had you had octopus before?
Would you consider calamari octopus?
I mean, technically, I guess
I like calamari, but other than that, no.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It took me probably 4 times trying it before I liked it.
Yeah.
But everybody raved about it, so I kind of made myself like it.
Yeah. Actually, let me back up. When I was in China, the most interesting thing definitely was the soup bowl. I think I told you about this last week, actually. The soup bowl with a chicken head in it.
Yeah.
That was weird.
That's really weird. Did you eat it?
Yeah, I tried it.
And it was good?
It was not good. No.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
I was not a fan.
Okay, so question 6. What is your biggest fear while traveling?
Oh, man. Biggest fear while traveling. Losing my passport. I was actually in Greece with my girlfriend 2 years ago, and I left my passport and my wallet in a taxi cab, and our driver did not speak English, and I had to chase him for 5 blocks. It was probably the fastest I've ever ran in my life. And I did catch him, and I got it all back, but that was a very scary moment for sure.
I sweat even at home if I can't find my passport. So
yeah.
I feel that pain.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so question 7. What was the first country you went to, and what was the last country you were in?
The first country I visited was actually obviously besides the U.S.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to count Canada because that's super close. But Costa Rica. When I was a senior in high school, for my senior project, I built a multi-sport like basketball court for the kids there in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
It was like 10 days long. And then the last country I visited was Japan 2 weeks ago.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Week and a half, actually, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even.
I love Japan.
Yeah.
I really need to go back there. Okay, so question 8. Planes, trains, or automobiles? How do you prefer to travel?
I like traveling by car. I love to drive and do road trips. And just being on my own schedule, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So usually when I'm traveling, I almost always rent a car unless it's like a city like Tokyo or like Shanghai or something.
Yeah, somewhere where you
don't
almost
rent a
can't.
car. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when you went to Germany, you guys drove all over, and I was kind of shocked by that.
It was insane, honestly, but I'm glad we did it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a really rad experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 9, the one that you said you were going to have trouble with. If you could travel with one person for 1 week and then never hear or see from them again, who would it be? Who would it be?
I think I would pick... Man, I mean, I feel like it would have to be someone that I could gain a learning experience from. And in my case, like, I'm a photographer and I love to travel. So I would probably pick Joey Lawrence. Do you know who that is?
Joey, like, from Blossom?
No.
Like, whoa.
No, not the actor. No.
No,
Joey L. He's a photographer.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize his last name was Lawrence.
Yeah, it's Lawrence. But Joey L. I'd probably pick him. You know, I've never talked to him before. I don't think I would ever talk to him again anyways. So.
I was going to say, I feel like he would be a colleague almost.
Yeah. So I think that'd be a really good learning experience for me, and that's probably who I would choose.
Yeah, his photos are gnarly.
Yeah, horse bud.
Yeah, okay, so see you later. I'm going to take you on a fucking train ride somewhere really weird. Okay, so question 10. Have you been anywhere that turned out to be totally different than you imagined? And if so, how?
I mean, I know I've talked about China a lot, but I think it was a lot different than I imagined it would be. I mean, I kind of try to go into a lot of my trips open-minded and without a lot of expectations, but I really struggled with communicating with people there. There's a huge language barrier there. There's nothing... most places that I go, there's at least like some English a little bit, but there is none at all whatsoever in China. Yeah. It's just everything is in Chinese, and it's kind of hard to talk to people. I was actually walking through this old town, which you should actually go to. I forgot what it's called, but I'll find it later.
Okay.
It's right outside of Shanghai, and it's like super, super old, like 3,000 years old. And this lady offered to let us come in because it was super hot outside. It was like 114 degrees outside.
Oh, Lord.
And she let us come in because she had AC and food and water. And we had an entire conversation with her through Google Translate. And it was insane. It was amazing.
I did that in Siberia.
Yeah.
With Russians because there's not a lot of English out there either.
Oh, really?
I almost got into a fight on the train. Did I ever tell you about that?
I could not see you getting in a fight.
It was because I didn't speak Russian.
Yeah.
And the guy was very aggressive.
Because you didn't speak Russian? Or?
Just in general. It was 10 a.m. He was drunk.
Yeah.
Turns out he wanted to talk to me about the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh my gosh.
Which was fucking hilarious once I figured it out. But like the lady in the dining car basically sent him back to his cabin because he was just too aggressive.
Yeah.
And he wasn't bothering me, but like they could tell that I was a little uneasy.
Yeah.
And I was fine once I figured out that he wanted to talk about hockey.
Yeah, language barriers are hard sometimes.
Absolutely. But
it was a cool experience, you know, it's one that I'll never forget, and I tell that story all the time, so.
Sure. That's rad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the 10 questions.
All right.
Tell everybody where they can follow your photography, follow your adventures online.
If you want to go on like social media wise, pretty much everything is just Bdorts, BDORTS, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Or my website, just BryanDaugherty.com.
Sick.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, dude.
Yeah, man. That was fun.
Again, I would like to thank my guest, Bryan Daugherty. I would like to thank you for listening. And if you take a second to review the podcast on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you listen to it, it would be incredibly appreciated. Now, you can follow along with us on social media at Lost in Transit PC on Facebook and Twitter, and Lost in Transit Podcast on Instagram. You can also email me at lostintransitpc@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions, any comments, any concerns, any complaints, I'd love to hear them. But until next week, get lost.